Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Blacklogic. A significant development has emerged involving a coalition of Black churches, and MSNBC's Al Sharpton, the National Black Church Initiative, representing over 150,000 Black American churches, has called for MSNBC to terminate Al Sharpton to investigate a $500,000 donation from Kamala Harris' presidential campaign to Sharpton's nonprofit, the National Action Network. This donation was made shortly before Sharpton conducted a favorable interview with Harris on his MSNBC show. The NBCI expressed deep concern, stating, "This type of action puts a moral stain on the integrity of the Black church." They've urged Sharpton to fully disclose the nature and purpose of the $500,000, and we have received any personal funds. The coalition is also pressing MSNBC to launch an investigation and support Sharpton's suspension until its completion. MSNBC claims it was unaware of the donations, made to the National Action Network and hasn't specified any actions regarding Sharpton. This situation raises significant ethical questions about journalistic integrity and potential conflicts of interest within media organizations. Now, Al Sharpton is no journalist. I digress. The NBCI stance reflects a broader concern about the influence of money on media and politics, especially within communities that rely on faith leaders for guidance. They're mostly referring to the Black American community. As the story unfolds, it underscores the importance of transparency and accountability in maintaining public trust. Next, Mayor Brandon Johnson has revised his fiscal strategy, now proposing a $60 million property tax hike to address the city's substantial budget deficit. This figure is a significant reduction from his initial $300 million proposal, which faced unanimous rejection from the city council. The revised proposal aims to align the tax increase with inflation rates, approximately 3.4%, equating to about $60 million. Despite the reduction, some aldermen remain skeptical, emphasizing the need for a balanced approach that doesn't overly burden residents. Mayor Johnson's administration is also exploring alternative revenue streams, including adjustments to parking and rideshare taxes to mitigate the budget shortfall. However, these measures have encountered resistance from various stakeholders, complicating the path to a consensus. As the December 31st deadline for budget approval approaches, the city council continues to deliberate on the proposed tax increase and other fiscal strategies to ensure a balanced budget without compromising essential city services. Now, Mayor Johnson widely supported illegal immigration in his city as a sanctuary city. And at one point in time, he was receiving federal funding to combat the onslaught of illegal immigrants that he was openly inviting. Now, how ironic is that Chicago is now in a deficit because of the actions of Mayor Johnson allowing illegal immigrants to reside in his state without deporting them as the law requires. See, all of these sanctuary states, all of these sanctuary cities are now in financial turmoil because they didn't do the right thing required by law. You guys are aiding and harboring fugitives that have trespassed inside of the United States illegally, and those things need to be taken into account. Mayor Johnson, just as well as the last mayor, Lightfoot, should resign. He really should resign or get fired. And I know the citizens of Chicago would not be voting for Mayor Johnson for a second term. Next. Now, a disturbing incident has emerged from Hamilton County, Tennessee, where corrections deputy Jonathan Allen has been arrested on charges related to child pornography. Allen, who has been with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office since 2018, was taken into custody following an investigation that revealed he solicited explicit images from a 13-year-old girl in York County, South Carolina. The investigation began when the victim's parents discovered inappropriate messages on her phone and alerted authorities. Subsequent inquiries led to Allen, who allegedly used social media platforms to communicate with the minor. He is currently facing charges of criminal solicitation of a minor and sexual exploitation of a minor. Hamilton County Sheriff Austin Garrett expressed his outrage, stating, "I am furious. Allen has been placed on paid administrative leave pending the outcome of this investigation. This incident raises serious concerns about the vetting and monitoring processes for individuals in positions of authority, especially those tasked with protecting the community. This case underscores the critical importance of vigilance and monitoring children's online activities and the ongoing efforts of law enforcement to combat child exploitation. Parents are urged to educate their children about the dangers of online interactions and to maintain open lines of communication to ensure their safety. As the investigation continues, both the Hamilton County and York County Sheriff's Office are collaborating to ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. Allen's arrest serves as a stark reminder of the pervasive issue of child pornography. Now, I can contest to this, family, because almost each and every day when my son has privileges to his phone, I take his phone and we look through it. We make sure there's nothing wild or crazy going on and anything significant that raises the eyebrow of something that's inappropriate in any form of a matter. So that's something that parents should be actively in their child's lives, looking through their closet, under their bed, in their phone. They don't have privacy until they're grown and outside your house. Let's go Black. So let's jump right in, family. I want to cover this one story here that I think you guys need to be very much aware of, because the term "they not like us," this is essentially what they're referring to.
You're being stopped on a traffic stop. Why are you getting out of the car?
I'm running because of this. I want to.
I don't care. You're being stopped.
Okay, I didn't understand.
What do you mean? I'm behind you with my lights on.
Okay, I didn't understand, but I didn't understand.
Okay, I need your driver's license, registration, and insurance.
Okay, now I want to know why I'm arrested.
Why you what?
Why I'm arrested?
Why you what?
The reason why
why you're being stopped?
Yeah.
You're doing 88 in a 55.
88?
88, yeah. So give me your driver's license, registration, insurance.
I'm recording what I'm doing. Did you see that?
I'm not going to argue with
No.
you.
I'm not going to argue. Did you see what I'm doing?
Now, family, I must break this down. First and foremost, when the cop first approached the situation, I thought he's kind of talking to him somewhat demeaning and disrespectful. But as this goes on, this cop was very lenient. He was very professional in a sense after it kind of carried on for a while. But at any given moment, now listen, if you are a Black American, there's two things that I can really come from this. One, if we're in the wrong and we don't have the proper paperwork and this is a stolen car or I'm unlicensed, it's one of two things we're going to do. We're going to take the ticket, we're going to get locked up, or we're running. We're not going to be going back and forth and have these arguments where we understand how most of these situations occur when it comes to Black Americans. Now, of course, you hear the accent. This guy is not a native-born American here. So he's going back and forth, reaching inside the car, going inside of his jacket. These are all actions that have got many of Black people and many Americans killed because of all the reaching and the heightened situation that police come into situations with. Everything this gentleman has done has been wrong. And I'm surprised he is still alive today. Now, evidently, the police was very lenient, maybe because he's a foreigner and he's probably not aware of what his actions should be, but he was not reasonable. He was stubborn. I'm surprised that the police didn't throw him to the ground, lock him up, and throw him in the back of his car.
I'm recording what I'm driving.
Yeah,
Let me see.
You're doing 88.
I'm not driving 88, sir.
I'm telling you, you're driving 88.
No.
Yes, you are.
Can you show me that?
No, I don't have to show you nothing. Get over here. Get over
You
here.
have to show me
No,
that.
I don't have to show you nothing.
I'm not driving 88.
Give me your driver's license, registration. I don't care what you think you're doing. Give me your driver's license,
I am not
registration,
driving
insurance.
88. Find another reason.
I'm just going to keep it a buck with your family. He is showing what seems to be a very non-aggressive, but he's sticking out his chest, he's sticking out of his head, and he's speaking very emphatically towards a police officer who's in the position of power. Now, just because he has his hand behind his back, a lot of people are like, well, he does not pose a threat. But the police officer is giving him a lawful order and he is not adhering to it. He is being defiant. He is being stubborn. And all of these are cases for you to be put against the car and handcuffs on.
Give me your driver's license, registration, and insurance now.
I don't have.
Give me your driver's license. Stop walking away.
I don't have. Otherwise, you're gonna show me the proof. Show me the proof that I'm running to
I don't have to
88.
show you nothing.
I don't have nothing to give you.
Give me.
I don't have nothing.
Cody,
You're gonna share.
Give me the stuff.
Now, first and foremost, I want to know who the police officer is, because the amount of patience that this police officer has given this young man is absolutely phenomenal. And a lot of you are going to disagree. Like, he should have been thrown his ass on the ground and put handcuffs on him and thrown in the back of the car. And I would agree to you, because I've never seen this amount of back and forth inside the vehicle, dealing with being very defiant. All of these things are occurring at once. And the police officer, as they should, stay calm, stay relevant, understand the situations, what's going on. But family, we understand in some places in America, in some pockets, because it's not all of America, this young man would have already been taken care of in many different ways.
I need your driver's license.
I'm not.
Give me your driver's license register. Stop moving.
I'm not stopping moving
Yo,
because
I'm
I'm
putting
not.
you in handcuffs. You
Okay,
don't stop.
okay. Do
Give me your
it.
driver's
Do
license.
it. I don't have nothing to give
Give
you.
me your driver's
I
license.
don't
Are you
have.
refusing to identify
Yes,
yourself?
yes, I refuse it.
You want to go to jail today?
Yes.
Why?
Because you could. That's what.
Okay, I really don't advocate for black people going to jail, but evidently he needs to go to jail. Now, anybody who commits a crime, does something heinous, of course, needs to go to jail. But when you're innocent, but he's been stubborn, defiant, disrespectful. He's been aggressive with his posture now. You see his hands by his side. And I'm not trying to give case for something egregious to happen to him. I'm just looking at an unbiased person. Because again, yeah, take me to jail. I don't have a license. I don't have this. I don't have that. Well, you're driving a vehicle without a license that's required by law. You are disobeying every lawful order that the police officer is giving you. And again, hats off to the police officer, because he kept his calm the entire time. This is astronomical. I've never seen this, especially towards a black individual. Okay, bravo. I have nothing negative to say when it comes to this police officer.
What are you looking for?
I need your driver's
I
license.
don't have driver license.
You don't have a driver's license
Yes,
at all?
I don't have at all.
At all?
At all.
Why? Why are you driving a car then?
That's the law. That's the law. I don't have nothing to give you.
Why don't you have nothing to give me?
Tell me the reason why you arrested me.
I told you.
No, I don't.
88, 25,
give me the proof.
55. I
Give
don't
me
need
the
to
proof.
show you nothing.
Okay, I don't have to give you nothing.
Get over here. Stop walking around.
Where? I don't want to stop nowhere.
Stop moving.
Give me
your
the.
stuff.
If you want.
See, right there, if a black American would have been in this situation, and this is just my conjecture, this is my opinion, this is my rhetoric. After a particular while, that black American, when he said, hey, stop moving, because he's moving all around, he's been very shifty. And the police officer, you can tell, he started to extend his hand like, hey, stop moving. When that police officer started to reach for his firearm, I know a lot of us like, oh, hey, okay. We start getting some act right, okay? Because we understand that the situation has turned dire and very serious, but evidently this guy don't understand that he's living in America.
Say that I'm hitting you or I'm doing something.
I want your driver's license.
I don't have nothing to give you, sir.
Sir, your driver's license.
I don't have nothing to give you.
You have to give me something.
Give me the proof that
I don't have to show you nothing.
I don't have to give you nothing.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Give me your driver's
I
license.
don't have driver's license to give you.
Sir,
Sir,
I'm not going to ask you again.
I don't gonna ask you.
Your driver's license,
I don't have
registration,
driver
and your
license.
insurance.
I don't have driver license. I don't have
Why don't you have a
insurance.
driver's license?
I don't have it.
You don't have one at all.
Nothing.
So why are you driving the vehicle?
Because I want. The vehicle is my vehicle. That's why I'm driving.
But you need a driver's license to operate a vehicle.
I don't need it.
Yes, you do.
I don't need driver license.
Yes, you do.
No.
Yes, you do.
No.
I'm telling
Because
you.
I have driver license.
That situation was totally unbelievable. Again, and I must say this, the police officer was very, very patient. And I know the clip ended. I was trying to find the full clip to see if it's escalated to something physical, but it would be justified. Now, I don't know if the young man was harmed by a firearm. I don't think that was justified because there was no brandishing of a weapon. But the acts of defiance and somewhat of an aggressive nature going back and forth inside of his car, he got off very, very easily because I didn't see any physical handling of this young man. But believe me, he needs to recognize what country he's in. And that goes for anyone of any color from any country. Actions like that will get you shot, killed, and locked up quick, fast, in a hurry. Now, let's move on to our main story here. Now, this information is coming from pewresearch.org. You guys can go and reference this for yourselves. But this is the breakdown of the majority of people in America, other than illegal immigrants, who are receiving SNAP, or also known as food stamps, EBT, etc. And what state are those recipients mostly coming out of? So automatically, most people think that Black Americans are the ones that are receiving a large amount of food stamps, where I've stated and gave statistics that majority of Black Americans are anywhere in the middle class or the lower middle class. Now, we do have a high rate of low impoverished people, but nonetheless, we're not the so-called drain on America that is tolling the bill for financial assistance when it comes to food stamps. So let's kind of break down some of the statistics that we have here. I'm gonna get right to the meat and potatoes of it all. I'm coming right down here to the statistics of the demographics who are receiving the most food stamps here in America. Now they have the ages broken down, but we're gonna get right down to the demographics of things. It's stated white at 62.7%, white not Hispanic at 39.8%, so roughly 40%, Black Americans at 27%, Asians 3.8%, all of the races combined 6.6%, and then it also states that Hispanic, any race, 27%, native born 87.8%, and then foreign born 12.2%. So when we look at the differences and differentiate between white and white Hispanic, we see a stark difference. That's stating that roughly 23 to 24% of that 62.7% are white and white alone, and that 40% are white Hispanics. And that is how they break those numbers down, because that is when Hispanics come from a lot of the Central American countries as well as Mexico. When they fill out applications of employment, applications in healthcare, a lot of them, believe it or not, classify themselves as white. That's why these numbers are stark different. But let's go a little bit further here. According to the United States Pharma of Agriculture, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, also known as SNAP, is the nation's largest nutrition assistance program, accounting for about 68% of the USDA nutrition assistance spending in fiscal year of 23. 67.8% are for those who are receiving food stamps. And this is a very large portion of the national budget, also known as the national debt, because that's what we're told. I believe that the national debt is anywhere between 35 to 36 trillion dollars. Also, when we look at what state is receiving majority of the food stamp money, well, Alabama ranks number one. Let's look at this very closely. It states here in fiscal year of 22, 761,000 Alabama residents, or 50% of the state, 1 in 7, and 41 million participate in the United States, or 12% of the total population, 1 in 8. More than 71% of SNAP participants are families with children. More than 38% are in families with members who are older adults or disabled. More than 37% are in working families. So when we look at the national toll of states and you combine the demographics of those who are receiving government assistance, it's a large portion of Alabamians, or do they call themselves Bamians or Bama? I don't know what people from Alabama call themselves, but this is a state that is receiving a large portion of government assistance. And I believe this is a Republican-ran state. But nonetheless, the reason why I point out those political differences, because if you are new to Blacklogic, I always point out that I'm neither Republican or Democrat nor independent, but I do have very strong conservative views when it comes to certain social issues, just to point that out. And lastly, we have to understand the demographics of a state when broken down in reference with its population. So the population of Alabama is 5.1 million people. So it's really not that many people, considering states like New York, California, Texas, to name a couple. But as we look at it, majority of Alabama, when we look at the demographic breakdown, 68.9% of those who reside in Alabama are white alone. 26.6% is Black or African American. And the next largest numbers is Hispanic or Latino at 5.7%. So there you have it. You guys have a great and wonderful evening. This is Blacklogic.